বিসমিল্লাহির রহমানির রহিম। প্রিয় বন্ধুরা, কেমন আছেন? আশা করি ভালো আছেন। হেমুজিকে চ্যানেলে আপনাদেরকে স্বাগতম। চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং ভিডিওটি শেষ না হওয়া পর্যন্ত আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। সাথে সাথে বেল আইকন বাজিয়ে রাখুন যাতে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ নোটিফিকেশন দ্রুততম সময়ে আপনাদের কাছে পৌঁছতে পারে। 10 থেকে 38তম বিসিএসে ইংরেজি সাহিত্য থেকে আসা অতি গুরুত্বপূর্ণ প্রশ্নগুলো নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। ব্যাংক, বিসিএস, নিবন্ধন, বিভিন্ন বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে ভর্তি ও সরকারি ও বেসরকারি চাকুরির নিয়োগ পরীক্ষা এখান থেকে অবশ্যই কমন থাকবে ইনশাআল্লাহ। আমরা শুরু করছি। হু ইজ দ্য অথর অফ এ ফেয়ারওয়েল টু আর্মস? আর্নেস্ট হেমিংওয়ে। হু ইজ দ্য অথর অফ অ্যানিমাল ফার্ম? জর্জ অরওয়েল। হু ইজ দ্য অথর অফ ইন্ডিয়া উইন্স ফ্রিডম? আবুল কালাম আজাদ। Justice delayed is justice denied was stated by Gladstone. The author of For Whom the Bell Tolls? Ernest Hemingway. Who is the poet of Victorian age? Robert Browning. Matthew Arnold. Who is the most famous satirist in English literature? Jonathan Swift. Who is the modern philosopher who was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature? Bertrand Russell. Who is the greatest modern English dramatist? G.B. Shaw. Caesar and Cleopatra is a play by G.B. Shaw. What is the real name of O. Henry? William Sidney Porter. The literary work Kubla Khan is a verse by S.T. Coleridge. Tom Jones by Henry Fielding was first published in the first half of 18th century, 1749. The Rainbow is a novel by D.H. Lawrence. Paradise Lost attempted to justify the way of God to man. Who wrote Beauty is Truth, Truth Beauty? John Keats. Who is known as poet and painter? William Blake. Which literary writing is connected with medical theory? Comedy of Humors. The poet laureate is the court poet of England. The first English dictionary was completed by Samuel Johnson. Which of the following ages in literary history is the latest? Georgian age. A fantasy is an imaginary story. In which century was the Victorian period? 19th century. Shakespeare is mostly known for his plays. Any one of the following pairs are literary collaborators? Eliot and Pound. Browning was the composer of the poem Andrew Del Sarto. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? These lines were written by Shelley. The Tempest and the Midsummer Night's Dream are written by William Shakespeare. David Copperfield and The Tale of Two Cities are written by Charles Dickens. To be or not to be, that is the dash. Question. I have a dash that one day this nation will live. Dream. Who wrote the lines, all at once I saw a host of golden daffodils? William Wordsworth. Who among the following writers is not a Nobel laureate? Graham Greene. The play Arms and the Man is by G.B. Shaw. Othello is a Shakespeare's play about a Moor. The poem Isle of Innisfree is written by W.B. Yeats. Rider to the Sea is a one-act play. Who is the writer of Elizabethan period? Christopher Marlowe. To be or not to be, that is the question, is a famous dialogue from Hamlet. Find the odd man out George Eliot, Find Odd Man Out as I Lay Dying. David Copperfield is a Victorian novel. Elegy written in a country churchyard is written by Thomas Gray. Shakespeare's Measure for Measure is a successful comedy. The Romantic Age began with the publication of Dash lyrical ballad, whose book is written by Thomas Hardy, The Return of Nature. Frailty, Thy Name is Woman. Dash is a dialogue by W. Shakespeare. The poem The Solitary Reaper is by Dash W. Wordsworth. The Merchant of Venice is a Shakespearean play about Dash, a Jew. The play Candida is by Dash G.B. Shaw. Writer of Romantic Age Dash S.T. Coleridge. The climax of a plot happens dash at the height. London town is found a living being in the works of Charles Dickens. Child is the father of man is taken from the poem of W. Wordsworth. Man is a political animal. Who said this? Aristotle. The poet of nature is W. Wordsworth. A Passage to India is written by E.M. Forster. Gitanjali of Rabindranath was translated by W.B. Yeats. Who was not a novelist? W.B. Yeats. Who wrote Biographia Literaria? S.T. Coleridge. Othello gave Desdemona dash as a token of love, handkerchief. Gerontion is a poem by T.S. Eliot. Dash is Shakespeare's last play, Tempest. Who has written the play? Volpone Ben Jonson. Shakespeare composed much of his play in dash iambic pentameter. The position of beginning consonant sound is known as alliteration. What is not a poetic tradition? The occult. What is a funny poem of 5 lines called Limerick? Robert Browning was a Victorian poet. Shelley's Adonais is an elegy on the death. John Keats. Who is the author of Man and Superman? G.B. Shaw. Jacobean period of English literature refers to 1603 to 1625. Where do the following lines occur in? Alone, alone, all alone, alone on a white. The rhyme of the ancient mariner. For God's sake, hold your tongue, and I let me laugh. This line is written by John Donne. Of the following authors who wrote an epic, John Milton. The literary terms euphemism means inoffensive expression. The play, the Spanish tragedy, is written by Thomas Kidd. Who among the following Indian writers is a famous novelist? R.K. Narayan. Which period is known as the Golden Age of English Literature? The Elizabethan age. প্রিয় বন্ধুরা, আমাদের ক্ষুদ্র ক্ষুদ্র প্রয়াস আপনাদের যদি সামান্য উপকারেও আসে তাহলে আমরা নিজেকে ভাগ্যবান মনে করব। চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন, লাইক এবং কমেন্টের মাধ্যমে আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। সবাই ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন। আল্লাহ হাফেজ।